than him.
SWBZ is live!
And we are here.
Yes.
Coming at you with a new setup.
And we look different.
Yes.
So different.
Ooh, see, now I can see everything. Whoa. Look at this. Let me bring this up a little bit. So I do that. I want to see if I can make this bigger. Oh well, I'll leave it like that. Ooh, I can do this. Bring that out just a little bit. Cool. Whoa. So now everyone can see chat.
Yay.
And then we have extra screens just for all the good stuff.
I like it.
Yes. New setup.
It proves how short I actually am.
He's very short. Actually, we're all between you, me, and them. We're all like the same height.
Alex is taller than me. We figured.
All
this
you
out.
three and Timmy are the same height.
Yes.
About.
Yes. We're all around 5'10".
I'm about the same size as Timmy. These two are taller.
Those two are taller.
About like half an inch.
I don't know.
I don't even have hair, and I'm taller than half an inch.
I haven't compared to Will since like freshman year.
Yeah. Oh, I can send out the tweet because I'm magical.
That capability like makes me want a stream deck.
Yes.
It really does. It's so
like,
fucking cool.
Boop. Tweet sent out.
I love it.
Maybe I'm just that fast at like typing. Maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, I think so.
But anyways, so this time new setup.
Yes.
We have a table. Tables. It looks like a table.
It's a table.
It's actually my lap. Yes.
It's really
I was about to say, I would say it's my dick, but it's about half that size.
Yes. And then on top of that, let's see here. Ben has acquired a DSLR camera.
I have. Would you like to see it?
Yes.
Whoa.
Oh, he's busting out the bag and everything. He actually put it away. Now I feel bad.
No, you're good. You're good. It is
Wow.
It's beautiful. It is an Nikon D5200. And it is my mother-in-law's who's letting me borrow it.
Soon to be mother-in-law.
Well, yeah, soon to be in a month.
In a month.
But she has felt like my mother-in-law for a very long time.
Yes.
In only the best ways.
Oh, and then like, I guess I'll get to that in a second. But part of the SWBZ is here, so Nick is here. Will.
Yo.
Alex.
Hi.
Ben.
Benjamin 19.
There you go.
Oh.
You can.
Santoru / I'll
Bird
put
of
my
Hermes.
shameless tag in.
We gotta get our names out there.
We got shit to do.
Branding.
Yeah. Totally sponsored by. Yeah.
Not a
Shy
sponsor.
So on this.
Sponsored by Batman.
Oh yeah, and then a thing that we want to try this podcast is try to do like a little different format and try and make things a little bit more casual and talk.
So what are we doing, Nick?
Absolutely nothing. We're going to talk about on how Alex had his very first Facebook post.
I'm growing up in the world.
Yes.
I'm using social media.
Because it was funny though because we were recording. Well, he came over to record, and then he was talking to me about the SWBZ, the talking SWBZ logo, right? On the banner.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, it looks really dark and everything like that. Couldn't tell if it was on my phone and stuff like that. I have a brighter one with the filter and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay. Blah, blah, blah. And then he showed me that he was on Facebook, and I was like staring at him, and I was like, wait a second.
Wait a minute, what's this?
And your reasoning for being on Facebook now this time is?
I just wanted to... Well, honestly, I just wanted to change my profile picture because I hadn't changed it in like over a year. So I at least wanted to change it to something different. And then I like wanted to be active on the SWBZ's Facebook thing as well.
Yeah, you said
mostly
like,
that.
you I think you summarized it up for me as it's like, well, I'm not on there, but might as well be useful on there.
No, honestly, I don't really check Facebook much just for like scrolling through post-wise because all of the people I really care about don't post anymore. Like the people I see posting are like, oh, I remember you from high school. Oh, I think I met you once. It's not the actual like core like friend group.
I get surprised with a lot of stuff that Facebook like finds for me in terms of just random people that like, do you know this person? And it has like one mutual friend. You're like, I have no idea who this person is. And then there's like the next person over says, do you know this person? One mutual friend's like, I haven't seen them since like middle school.
I think the worst part about it is like, for example, like if you have that one person who's a mutual friend, you have no clue who they are, but they're in your class from high school, and you're just like, Obviously, I missed you for 4 years because I have no freaking clue who you are.
Right.
That was like a big thing for me. Was just like there's like one person that I literally like went multiple years throughout middle school and high school with, and a lot of people that I knew him. And I'm like sitting here like, I don't know this person, and then they're like, but I'm sure you guys have been in the same room or whatever and talked to each other once or twice, and I was like, I don't know this person. I'm really usually pretty good about knowing everybody.
Right.
But that was like one person. I was like, it always bugged me. I was like, dude, who is this? But other than that, yes, that's pretty much Facebook for me. I was kind of like bummed out yesterday because, well, I had a couple things to do yesterday, and then just random errands. Then I got online to go talk to and hang out with some of my online buddies, separate from the main SWBZ.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a certain Discord I go to, and when I hopped on there, no one was there. And I'm like, I guess everyone's just busy, whatever, it's fine. And then like I waited like another hour, and I checked, and still no one there.
No.
And then eventually I was like, oh yeah, that's right, it's Richard's wedding today. So I had a buddy who was up in New York, and then my online friends from Florida and Virginia all went up there to go be at his wedding and stuff like
That's
that.
crazy.
People that he met online.
Oh, so they all
awesome.
met through that Discord server?
Yeah, so
Oh,
like originally Richard met like Jake and Sam through like World of Warcraft. Met Harrison through World of Warcraft. And Harrison, I hung out with him here in Georgia, and then he moved down to Florida. But anyways, so he has all these guys that he basically met on World of Warcraft and League of Legends, and they all went up there to go to his wedding and stuff.
That's awesome.
Which is actually awesome. Which congratulations to him on all that good stuff. And I was just like thinking about like on how you have a wedding coming up and stuff like that. We're going to be traveling the great lengths of
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's up. It's like 30 minutes north of here.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not bad.
So, although you have to do it 2 days in a row.
right.
That's not bad.
Who's the furthest person coming? Is it technically Ian from Michigan?
No, it's my brother from California.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, my brother and his fiance. They just got engaged.
Yes.
But yeah, they're flying out from California. It was a toss up between them and my aunt who lives in Maine, but she can't come. So
Oh, okay.
definitely my mother.
Disqualified. But other than that, yeah, I helped. By the way, Alex, I might need your help later moving couches. I helped my brother move a couch yesterday, which was a pain in the ass. I have gotten so much weaker since I won the academy, and just like stopped being as active. But like I was helping moving furniture, and I was like, oh my god, this sucks so much.
It always does.
Sports news. Will.
Go Dogs.
Go Georgia teams in general.
Yeah, I
apparently.
know.
A
So
lot of
this
people are
past
doing stuff.
weekend, so many things happened. First of all, Georgia, University of Georgia Bulldogs, they had their first testament of the season.
Their first actual game.
I'd like to point out that I just like referred to Will as the sportscaster or whatever, and it was like, all right, sports here with Raimu.
Take it away, Will.
But anyway, so UGA football, they had their first trials and tribulations this year, first actual team, and it was Notre Dame, and they came down to Athens. They put up a hell of a fight.
Was that a record crowd?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the most that any stadium in the state of Georgia has ever had.
93,000 people maxed out.
That's insane.
They had to put 500 extra seats just to squeeze every last person that wanted
I was
to
wondering-
The extra seats.
What?
Where'd they put the extra
They put it
seats?
underneath the scoreboard on bleachers, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, different
because that's
bleachers.
just open.
Yeah, it's open
Yeah.
area, so they just added 500 extra seats for Notre Dame fans too.
Yeah, and it was kind of like a perfect storm though, just because like it's before like midterms and everything that, and because it's like, oh, you guys are gonna go on fall break, but we're gonna hit you with, oh, you have to study for these midterms and you have to get these projects and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and then you have to play football
and then you have to go
and do practice.
Yeah.
But so they ended up winning, which was really good. it should not have been that close of a game.
No.
There was literally just one play that happened with Georgia that caused it to be that close.
We just gave him a free
We
touchdown.
gave him a free touchdown. It was terrible.
So your punter.
Yes.
No, it wasn't our punter.
Well, I'm just saying.
Our punter made two 20-yard punts. Too,
yeah, but the reason why, because if you look at it back, the first one actually got tipped. It got tipped.
Oh, okay.
The second one, there was a guy coming in on the side. He didn't pay attention. He almost missed it. So that was on him. But the first one,
it got tipped.
one, it got ticked.
Yeah.
That's a bit better then.
But then freaking Notre Dame didn't get called for unsportsmanlike by faking 2 injuries.
Y'all's no huddle offense was tearing them up.
Oh yeah, and that's why they did the fake injuries.
And both injuries stifled us. Like we didn't do anything after they reconvened.
I do think that the no huddle offense is a great learning thing for college, like in period, college offenses and period, and even defenses too. Because like the whole thing is like college can't like I'm not bashing them or anything like that, but most players can't really think for themselves in terms of calling plays on the spot. They don't call audibles and stuff like that. Really.
Right. Yeah, it depends on the year.
It depends on the year, and it also depends on the team. But for the most part, it's coach's territory or the coordinator. And everyone looks to the sideline, including defense. It's like, what are we doing? And I'm just like sitting there, or actually I should do it this way. What are we doing? But yeah, and that's like, this is the big thing is that when it's a big communication gap, because suddenly offense is going no huddle, and then defense is like, what are we doing? And then the coach is like, what are they doing? Because he can't see shit.
Okay, so the thing is with the no huddle with Notre Dame. Okay, so when Georgia was doing the no huddle, Notre Dame was just tired as hell.
They were.
Because our offensive line is literally the biggest offensive line in the nation. Each, like, the average is 318 pounds per person. There are people on there who are 335, and they're just knocking people over. So that entire defense was exhausted.
Okay, I've got a question about.
Yes.
I'm not a sports person. Okay.
Yes.
We were having this discussion last night. Bailey and Allison Prawl, so high school friend, and we were talking about like how coaches are viewed. Like, let me say the example. Like, let's say UGA does really bad one year.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the coach's fault.
Yeah.
But why is it the coach's fault? Because the players are playing. My ultimate question is: do you think coaches should be blamed in the college?
It's circumstantial.
Yeah, it's very circumstantial. The reason why they have so much blame put on them is because they're the ones that are recruiting.
I mean, I get that.
They're the ones that are training these guys to be the way they are.
There's also a difference between college and NFL. So in college, they have a lot more, I guess, responsibility.
They have a lot more bullshit to go
because they in a way have a lot more control over the team versus the NFL, where they have the GM, who's a separate entity, who is the person who's like, I will pay this money for this player, pretty much.
Yeah.
So in terms of NFL-wise, in terms of NFL, most players are all on the same like skill level. Yes, there are like the elites, but
I would say like the spectrum is narrower.
Yes, the spectrum is narrower.
Of talent. Yeah.
However, the big thing with NFL is that the age range is different, so a lot of the recruitment and training process is different.
Right.
So when you have like a slump year, I mean, it happens. every dynasty falls.
And that's why with like college, for example, like with Nick Saban,
yeah,
they're not doing as well, but he's not even close to getting fired. But somebody who has been sucking it up for the past 3 years, their coach is on the chopping block because they haven't been able to turn the program around.
Right. Okay. See, I guess that's my question is because you were saying that the players aren't very independent in college.
Right.
So, because I feel like in the NFL, I feel like coaches stay for like so many years.
They do.
Constantly. Yeah. But I feel like college, or at least from what I hear, it's like every 5 years. It can be.
And it can be. It can be 3 years.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
There have been coaches that have been run off after 3 years because they haven't been able to turn the program around. And that's one of those things with college football that's not the best thing, especially in the SEC, because we live in the biggest conference area.
Well, yeah.
So with SEC, they're considered the strongest conference. It's debatable, but we have the most championships at the moment. And so if a coach goes to somewhere like Tennessee is sucking this year.
Yeah. As always.
No, not as always. The last time they were really good was Peyton Manning. But anyways,
wow,
that's a different
and
story.
He's retired from the NFL.
Yeah. But anyways, so if Jeremy Pruitt, who's the head coach, he's the first year head coach at Tennessee. If he doesn't get that program at least a winning season in the next 2 years, he will be on the chopping block and possibly fired.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because he didn't recruit the people he needed to. He didn't have the staff to help these players get better.
Right.
So it was his responsibility.
That was kind of the only thing I was going to add, is that because the coach is so involved with hiring every single staff member, and he has to evaluate their skills before hiring them and be able to put together a solid program, that all that comes back to him if things don't work out.
Okay.
And the blame game can't be. It can be partially put on the players, but at the end of the day, he was the one that hired all the staff. He was the one that selected all the all the recruits to come in. So it's partially on him too.
Okay, this is just coming from a guy who does.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And then a big thing with NFL difference is tenure, just because most new coaches in the NFL has prior head coaching experience somewhere else, or have done offensive or defensive coordinator and were very successful, like the New England Patriots, where their offensive and defensive coordinators under Belichick were like, come to my team and head coach for me. So it's like NFL's head coaches are basically already proven battlegrounds, right? Once again, you can have the insanely awesome coaches, but everyone else is at least average. Whereas in college, it's a wide
coach just
range.
handles so many things.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that he also has to be the disciplinarian during the entire thing, because if these kids act up and
That's true.
fuck up,
Yeah.
they have to be the ones that make the hard decision of cutting the person.
Did you see the controversial touchdown?
For who?
Wisconsin, I think. It wasn't a touchdown apparently. I don't know if you heard or saw about that.
I saw the game yesterday, but
I think it was Wisconsin. But it came down to the last 2 plays, and it was the last 10 seconds or so, no timeouts.
Oh yeah, no, that probably wasn't Wisconsin.
Wisconsin was a slaughter. It wasn't even.
Sorry, Timmy.
Oh.
I didn't want to bring this up.
Yeah. Oh no, it wasn't Wisconsin. It was another one. But they, or maybe it was Washington or something like that.
Was it I think the Texas game was close.
Texas was close.
They ran it in for a touchdown. The losing offense did. And
they called it off.
They called it off. They never called it as a touchdown, so the clock kept going.
Oh.
But the dude was beyond in, and then they forced him to run a fourth down no huddle after the play.
I don't know. The refs this year have not been great.
But the dude was not even close to being down before. The way he got down was he tripped and fell, but he tripped and fell into the end zone, and he called him down at the half-yard line when he really should have been called down way into the.
Well, I mean that's almost exactly like the whole thing with the Notre Dame thing. They faked they faked injuries. Literally, they did a look back. Georgia was going so fast down the field, it was insane. And then all of a sudden, you see one of their best defensive players, hands on his hips, huffing and puffing because he is so tired, and his teammate literally grabs him, throws him on the ground, and says fake an injury. Yeah, showed it on camera.
Wow.
I hesitate to say 100% that was fake, because there's an off chance that he was injured, but to me it seemed like there was a sideline hand motion for him to fake the injury, and he didn't see it.
Yeah.
So the other guy pushed him down. That's what it seemed like.
And then the second one, when they were going down the field again, one of the defensive linemen came up, walked, just literally after the play ended, walked into Jake Fromm on his elbow and went down on a knee, saying that he got poked in the eye.
Yes.
His face mask hit Jake Fromm's elbow. I don't know if you've seen football helmets. An elbow cannot fit in that helmet.
Mine might.
But it's just one of those things. And the ref was looking straight at him.
Yeah.
And didn't call anything. Normally that's an unsportsmanlike conduct because you're literally trying to delay the game.
Right. All sorts of stuff. So that was it for UGA, and
then the Braves clinched the division,
Mm-hmm.
And so we get home field.
Yeah, they only either needed to win that game or have the
Nationals
lose.
And
which I think Nationals
won. Yeah. But the Braves won and clinched the division, which was great because unfortunately it's an Atlanta team, so I'm not going to get my hopes up, but they look better than they did last year, and they made it pretty far. So
yes.
And then last night after the Georgia game, or during the Georgia game, Atlanta United clinched home field for their playoffs as well.
Yep.
Dope.
Now we have a Falcons game today.
Yeah, I don't even know what the score is on that one.
I don't.
We won last week. We lost the first game of the season.
It's not a terrible start.
They're 1-1. They're 50% right now.
Well, your only competition got their starting quarterback injured.
And the biggest news, or two of the biggest news from the NFL. First of all, I'm sorry, Eli got benched.
Yeah, he did. That was slightly controversial.
Yeah, for those of y'all that don't know, Nick is a Giants fan.
Yes, I'm a Giants fan. You're a Giants fan. The deal with that, well, I want to say everything started with McAdoo. McAdoo was the first person to come up with the idea to bench Eli type thing, even though originally that was
not even close. Yeah.
Not even close to a possibility because your backup quarterback was non-existent. So he's like, I think we're gonna bench Eli for the second half. So he'll play a half, and then we'll bench in the second half. This way, he'll still get the because that was the thing, was that he was up there with consecutive starts for years without like missing a game, and then he's like, I'll let you play the first half so you can keep your streak, and then I'm gonna have the other quarterback come in third quarter. And Eli was like, screw you, I'm not gonna play the whole game. And the whole crowd was like with Eli there. And the thing is with like, I guess New York fans, is they're either like completely with a team or they're completely not with a team. But for that occasion, the entire stadium was like, fuck you, McAdoo, piece of shit. McAdoo was the coach at the time. So that happened 1 or 2 years ago, or 2 seasons ago. And then this season, we're kind of going through a transition. Eli is eventually going to retire soon. I'm not sure how much time is left in his contract, but we just got DJ, who's a pretty good quarterback, and he's kind of like he's like a younger version of Eli Manning, just in terms of play style. But this Sunday, they're going to replace Eli with DJ, and we're going to see how it goes. But Eli was a little disappointed, but
I mean, when you don't produce.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, that was the question I was going to ask. Do you think it's Eli dropping in talent, or is it that he doesn't have any cast around him to...
Eli performs best when he has options, and he doesn't have options. And the biggest problem with that is because of he has, instead of having like an actual tight end, he has a wide receiver, basically. Mm-hmm. He has a tight end who is basically a wide receiver. He doesn't block at all, and he also has 2 running backs who Saquon does try to block every now and then.
Saquon's crazy.
Yeah, Saquon can do everything. But the rest of the depth chart for running backs don't really block.
Oh, okay.
So basically they're completely relying on the offensive line and then quick passes instead of what it used to be when they won 2 Super Bowls was they had like amazing running backs and tight end options to where they could keep Eli in the pocket, and then if he needed to get rid of it, he had a tight end that got free. He had a running back that got free. He had 4 wide receivers that were all good at the time, or at least decent.
Right.
He had tons of options. But nowadays, it's like you have the offensive line and maybe a running back, and then you just have a bunch of trash wide receivers, which they're decent-ish. Some of them are, but there's no.
Yeah.
We don't have Victor Cruz. We don't have Odell. We don't have Mario Manningham. We don't have all sorts of other guys that we used to have. So the overall, I guess, talent went down. I'm not going to blame any of it on Eli, but at the same time, Eli's getting old.
Yeah.
So you think
he's ready to retire.
Okay.
He's ready to retire. I figured
I really thought that he should have retired last year. Personally, I mean, I know they didn't really have anybody to replace him until.
I don't know how long his contract was, but I think they wanted him to have at least another good go. But the thing is, he doesn't have a solid team because that was the whole thing. We went through multiple coaches through a very short span, and every single one of them was like, "I want to do it this way, and this is what's going to fix the team, and this is what's going to fix the team," and then no one fixed the team. And we went through like 2 or 3 coaches. Yeah. Our best one was Tom Coughlin. I was going to say. Or at least before Bill Parcells, which they're both hand in hand really good. But right now, Tom Coughlin's over in the Jags as a scout coordinator or something like that. Something like that. He works for the Jags now, under the GM, which is pretty nice. All right, that's enough about Giants. Sports ball.
And whatnot.
Me and Alex started recording a very special game for a very special month.
Arguably the best month of the year.
Yes. What is the best? What is the best month? I can't talk right now. What is the best month?
I think it's October.
You think it's October?
Personally, my birthday's not even October.
I know it's a very good time between October and December for me.
Yes, I enjoy it quite
November. The only thing good in there is my birthday and Thanksgiving. That's about it.
And that's at the very beginning.
And that's at the very beginning, and then Thanksgiving's at the very end. The rest of November can fuck itself.
Wow. Right.
What did November ever do to you?
It made me who I am. And I am
it's just getting to the point where it's very confusing.
Pretty sure March made you.
Shut up.
He is.
But anyways, yeah, October. I'm excited.
Cool month.
Halloween.
Yes. Where you can cosplay whenever you want.
Without any judgment.
So yes,
I already have my costume.
We were playing a good game, a very interesting game.
Yes.
Are we saying what game it is?
I guess it doesn't hurt. So we started recording some, I guess, horror-esque games, something that, kind of fits the theme with October, and I think we're going to come out with those videos throughout the month of October. And I know that me and Ben, we're going to do a playthrough of a certain game.
Yes.
And then me and Alex are doing a playthrough of Outlast.
Yeah.
Which Alex is playing Outlast. I have already seen gameplay of this game over and over and over, and I own the game, so I was just like, it's not going to be genuine if I play it.
Yes.
So we have
I'm attempting to play Outlast. Let's say that.
Oh my god. What this man does.
I'll preface to say I was very tired when I got there.
Yeah, to be fair, he got after work. So
I did my best, but there's a lot to take in.
I just every time when I watch Alex and his gameplay, it's like he's so lost. Like even though it's like, all right, it'll be kind of like not really a cinematic. Right, but you're walking through and stuff's happening around you, so it could be like a straight hallway, right? And while that's happening, there's like all this crazy sound going off on the left, and it wants you to look left, but for some reason he's not looking left because he's just like the hallway is down here. So I was like, damn it, look to the left because cool shit is happening and people are getting like stabbed and stuff, and you're not looking at it. It's like he doesn't have like the least bit of curiosity.
I gotta get out of this house.
And dude, literally, he thinks of completionists.
Yeah.
He thinks I gotta get to that objective and finish it so I can beat the damn game.
Right.
He doesn't think, oh, I'm gonna take in the scenery.
There's no side quests.
There is.
I'm not gonna pull a Sam Clark. Yes, that was a.
Wow.
He does not care about the scenery whatsoever, and like. I think he's like hearing impaired or something like that because like something is obviously happening to his left, and he doesn't look left. And I'm like,
and you're wearing headphones, right?
He's wearing headphones,
I know.
and I'm just like,
I don't know. There's just something about talking and playing a game like that at the same time. Like the only other game I've ever done with that is Wind Waker, but there's no like visual or like audio cues that you need to like
or people you need to really
like listen to.
That and you've also already
and I know that game.
Yeah,
so I don't need to like that. Like,
I'm not gonna give him any flack for it, but I'm just saying.
No, you can give me flack for it. If it's any indication, when I was first learning how to play, you have to have like you get batteries and they power your flashlight.
Yeah.
And Nick was like, "Whatever you do, don't press R right now." I immediately
No,
pressed R. Because I heard him say you can press R to reload your battery,
and then
he
goes, and I was like, "Well, but there goes a whole battery."
But it wastes the remaining charge of the battery you currently have in your lights.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And I was like, yeah, you can press R to reload your battery, and then like it waits like a solid second, and it goes. And I was like, wait, did he just... And I was like, oh my god.
It's off to a great start.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we had a surprise guest of Timmy showing up.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Timmy
he did
joined
come?
us. He
He
joined us
did.
for a couple episodes.
Yeah, so, we were part of the recording session, and I sent him a message, and I was like, I was wondering what your deal was, and he's like, I can come in after work, and I was like, that's up to you. And then he decided to come on by, and I was like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool of him to do that. But yeah, so that was fun recording that.
I had a good time. That's what's important.
We'll record more, and then I'll start getting them all scheduled out for October.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a game that we wanted to play,
Yes.
which was
Alien.
I think I was gonna play this one.
Yes.
Alien Isolation.
I know nothing about it. I mean, I know the premise, but I don't know.
It's a freaky ass game. I'm telling you that
Yeah,
right now.
I've seen some playthroughs.
I've seen some gameplay.
I haven't seen anything. I'm excited to just get scared.
So-
Even though I'm not playing.
No, it's going to be all the same, yeah.
Oh, and you got to be playing in the dark too.
Oh yeah,
Just making it worse.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
lights out. So it's Alien Isolation from the Alien series,
Yes.
like Alien versus Predator, Alien, and basically they kind of they did a really good job making it, because apparently the way the AI works is that there is two sets of it. There is the actual monster AI, and then there is a like a director AI, and the director AI has like its own routine that it's trying to do, and then the monster has its own routine that it wants to do, right?
Oh.
So the director AI is going to be all like, you haven't seen the monster in a while. Bloop. Just places him there, and you're like, fuck. Or it'll be like something like, you've been in the vents too long. Bloop.
Yeah, let's shake things up.
Yeah, like it finds patterns and stuff like that, and it tries to make you avoid them.
That's crazy.
Which I think is awesome, and I think they did a very good job of it from the little bit of gameplay that I saw. So I'm excited to play it.
I'm excited to watch it.
Yes. Look at me die. That's gonna be a really good one. I know we were talking about possibly doing Dead by Daylight with the whole group, but
Yes.
That's going to be buying the game for everybody.
yes, I'm the only one who currently owns it, and everyone else doesn't, pretty much, for the most part. That, and we all have to be online at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I still have to
And-
fix my damn computer and
Yeah. I'm just gonna quietly.
so yeah.
The silence.
I know. I don't know why you're staring at me now.
Fix your computer.
Yes,
I have to
fix
have
it.
time to do it.
Oh, on Facebook, I saw that Ian was tagged in a certain post.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Apparently, he won the Ontario tournament.
Yes.
Holy crap.
He
Wow,
went,
I didn't see that.
And he told me, he was like...
Can you give further context on what it is, by the way?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So, Middle-earth battle strategy game.
Mhm.
It's what it sounds like. You play with miniatures, and you go against one or two other people.
Similar to Warhammer,
Yeah.
except
Yes.
it's
It is
Lord of the
Warhammer, but
yeah,
Well,
it's Lord of the
but
Rings.
with-
Lord of the Rings themed Warhammer.
So, there are competitions for it where you play like 2 or 3 rounds and of the different play types.
And Ian kind of got all of us into playing it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we all have our own signature armies and
Yeah,
stuff
still
like
gotta
that.
paint mine, but yeah.
I have like Moria and Eagles. Will you have?
Rohan.
Mm-hmm. You can get some horsey boys that
Got
shoot
the horsey
arrows.
boys.
I've
Alex,
got his mortal enemies, Isengard.
nice. Yeah, so like
Hate
Rohan and Isengard are like clashing like all the time, and then
Because
Ben,
I'm always stuck against freaking Alex when
Yeah,
he's
that's how it
Isengard.
happens.
Mhm.
I've got Easterlings and Fanghorn, which are the
Yes.
Ents.
Easterlings are really cool because they're like Spartans, basically.
Yeah, the Easterlings are pretty dope. I'm just not good with them.
Hey, and there's a new set of Rohan coming out too. So.
Yes.
And
I want them to come out with different style ints.
Yeah.
I got a Games Workshop int, and it's cool, but there's really only 2 variations you can do.
Right.
It says like
Four.
no 2 ints have to look the same. It's like no.
They look the same.
Yeah.
Like, but I bought a D&D int too.
Yeah.
And it's
that looks cool. So.
But you souped up your int to make it look super dope. Like you put like a lot of cool effects on it.
Yeah, that's the D&D int. The Games Workshop one I'm gonna make my winter int.
Yeah.
I'm
Which ints are freaking strong. Which is, I love playing as monsters. And I just enjoy playing monsters to begin with in terms of normal units.
They're broken.
And they're unique.
Because they're broken.
And they're unique.
Public service announcement. Anything that's strong and beats Will says is overpowered.
No, okay. Hold up.
Here's the tea.
That
tea, Alex.
That
I didn't
is
have to say
absolute
anything.
bullshit, okay? Because
Oh,
I'm not saying that Isengard's broken. I'm just saying
You
that
said Saruman was broken.
Saruman is
and
fucking
he's on
broken.
Isengard, so
And-
Isengard
okay.
is broken.
Saruman is
I don't like Saruman because he can use one magic spell every turn.
Yes.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
broken.
That's the only
Monsters
thing I don't like about
are broken, but at least I know for one thing, with them, I have the numbers. So, yes, they have smaller numbers, but they're stronger, but I have more numbers, so if it's a objective based, I could possibly win.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Possibly win.
But
which you technically won that one time, right? When you went up against me during our little
No, we
tournament.
tied it.
Yes. I still won.
You won the overall because monsters.
Yes.
But anyway, this whole tangent
Oh,
is
yes.
to say
yes.
that there are competitions, and there was one being held in Ontario, and Ian goes to school in Michigan, so he was like, I'll fucking go to this competition, and what he told me was, he was like, I just want to win one game, and then just, that's my goal. I want to win one game, and then just have fun. And he fucking won the whole thing.
Yeah.
Was he using his dwarves, or what?
No, he used Isengard.
Yeah.
Ah.
He didn't have Saruman. It was the points. I think the point max was like 450 or 440.
Oh yeah, you can't use
It
Saruman
was
for that.
it was like whose line is anyways, where the points don't matter, you know. So
So I mean he was
Dang.
snapping me all day. He was like,
yeah,
I just fucking won the second round.
yeah,
And he's like, I just beat the guy in first place.
yeah.
Like, what?
It was I just saw the Facebook post at the very end that Cody, who's I think the person who taught him.
Yes.
Congratulated him.
Yeah, congratulated him, and I was just like sitting there like, no way. Look at him. That means if I beat Ian, I'm a pretty good player. Let's try that.
It made me feel
Balrog.
It made me feel much better about all my losses against him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
That
learned
means
from the
that
master.
we could all kind of hold our own at tournaments now. He's inspired us all.
Nope.
There was a tournament at Gigabytes near us.
Yeah, I couldn't make it.
Yeah.
And I thought about it for a minute. I was like, you know,
I was
it was a
thinking I
team.
should have messaged you.
Yeah.
Because it was a team tournament.
yeah. So 2 people
Yeah.
entered.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking at one point to try and do that, but I knew I did not have any time.
I should have messaged you
And-
then. It was sitting in the back of my mind,
Mine
and
too.
I was just like.
And before I do a tournament, I want to have mine painted. I know it doesn't matter.
Well,
but-
for some competitions. it
no, I
does.
know, but for this one, it
This one it
matter.
didn't matter, but I mean it was extra points for them being painted,
Oh yeah.
and team spirit was part of the.
Oh yeah, and
Oh, really?
you can tell that all these middle-aged guys were very. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were very interesting people that I felt bad that we didn't go type thing, but
Yeah, especially because like they're really.
They're up there. I met that dude once, and he keeps on tagging my name and things. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I feel so bad for not like.
It's like
Being
I can't
more
go,
active
I'm
or
sorry.
something?
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
like, Ian literally put me in this group, and I just was like, what the hell? And now you're trying to get me involved, and I want to be a hermit and live in my freaking house doing nothing.
And if there's any indication on how active that group is, half the time, the few times I do go on Facebook and scroll, half of my feed is taken up by that group
Yes.
posting stuff.
yes. Sorry.
But so yeah, I'm really. I haven't even done any research on the new Rohan.
Me either.
What up? Oh snap!
Oh yeah, he had a.
Oh, that's
plaque.
his.
His trophy.
And he got some like terrain.
Oh, did he?
Really?
Well, it's not like what you're thinking. It's like horses and barrels.
Oh, okay.
Something.
I mean, no, it's cool.
nice,
It's really cool.
It all adds to the aesthetic.
But I really need to research the Rohan so I can get some new.
I thought it said West Farting.
You don't want to just keep doing.
I want to be able to actually have a
Farthing.
big army and have.
You have the biggest
No,
army
no,
out
no,
of
no,
all
no.
of us.
Now
Like
it
a big
sounds
army
like
of not
you're
the same
English and you're saying
people.
farting.
Right.
Farting.
I want to be able to have infantry. I want to be able to have the Rohan riders, but I don't want to have to just rely on the same Rohan the entire time. I want to actually have another leader other than Theoden. So,
He wants more utility.
There are other leaders, but
Well, they're not as well known as Theoden, and most of them
great.
are like Rohan Captain.
yeah, they're not
Oh,
great.
yeah. You can, like there's like the generic versions for each one has a generic.
It's the same way with the Easterlings too.
Oh, yeah.
There's just not a lot of named people. It's like Amdur and Kamul, and the rest are just Dragon Knight, Dragon
I mean,
Priest.
I think there's like 4 or 5 people for Rohan,
Yeah,
but
and Kamul's not even technically in the Eastern.
and what's even
list.
worse is like Rohan can be targeted if you use Theoden, because you can use that one miniature. I can't remember what the dude's name is that brainwashed him in the movie.
Yeah.
You can literally, as I think it's Isengard or something like that, have him as part of your
Oh,
army.
yeah.
And if you have
Silvertongue.
him within
Grima.
Grima or whatever.
Wormtongue.
Yeah,
Wormtongue.
Wormtongue. But either way, if he's in the opposing army, Theoden sucks.
I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah.
It's bad.
So the way that character works in the game is that basically
But he is weak as fuck.
he's given as an ally to the enemy team, and he basically, like, as long as another leader is within his like range, they can't really function.
Is
So-
that they have
And they
in the
can't
game-
hurt him either.
Yeah, you can't attack them. They have what's called like might points. So you have to spend might points in order to do cool stuff like good actions, and you have to spend double the points in order to do anything while he's there.
Yeah.
You can only attack him if he attacks you first. Which why would
Why
the
would you
other
do
person
that?
do
Yeah.
that?
Mm-hmm.
I tried to force that to happen, but didn't work out. Because I like put like I don't remember what I did specifically, but I made it so that he was in combat,
Oh right.
but then Ian was like, I just choose to not attack with him or something. Like I don't remember how that worked, but doesn't matter.
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. How could this happen to me? So Cleveland Browns came out with a Friends trailer.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yes, I did.
What?
Oh, you didn't see it.
They had like 5 or 6 of the biggest guys there.
They had Odell. They had quarterback
Baker.
They
Baker
recreated
Baker
the opening.
Mayfield.
Oh, okay.
Friends.
They
I see.
had, I think, like a
I
one.
don't think they had Baker.
No.
I don't think it was Baker. It was Odell definitely. It wasn't Chubb and it wasn't Baker.
Oh, Chubb was gonna be the next
Oh,
person.
I thought I'd see Chubb. I know that they definitely had like a bigger like linebacker or whatever on there as well. But
They all
anyways,
did like the Friends trailer.
yeah, they did the Friends trailer, and then some of our friends were really excited about that. One because they're really big Friends.
And another because
yeah,
they pull for the Browns now because Chubb.
Because of me.
yes, just because of Nick Chubb.
Which, I mean, I can't say that I'm not
Which-
one of those people.
I don't pull for the Browns because of Odell.
But I like Baker and I like Chubb, so I'll pull for him.
Yes. But anyways, so our friends really liked that idea a lot, and they're all like, "We should do our own."
No,
I
you
would
should.
totally be down.
I
for
would.
that.
I would fucking do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I have a camera.
Yeah.
It's like, let's already plan this.
Do it.
let's get everyone in on it. That'd be awesome.
Have Zach do it in the fountain at Valdosta, away from all of us.
We'll just like this is
Photoshop
totally
it.
the same fountain that we're at.
It's like badly photoshopped.
You know what we'll do? We'll grab like a dummy or something like that, and we'll put Valdosta clothes on it, and then we'll make it look like, I don't know, one of us pushes him in, and then we'll have a clip of him and Valdosta like coming out of the water or something like that.
And then all of a sudden you see like Sam or somebody stepping on him.
Yeah.
While he's in the water, like the dummy. That'd be funny.
Yes. We shouldn't have said that on stream because now we can't use that and be a surprise now. Actually, it'll still be a good idea to do.
Yeah, who's watching?
We're not sponsored, by the way.
No, we're not. But ads pop up all the
Ads
time.
pop up for icebreakers, and I was like, man.
But so, have you guys heard about like the? I know you probably have the massive runaway, basically, from Netflix. So many people are canceling Netflix now.
Why?
Is it the Disney stuff?
The Disney stuff is about to launch next month.
Oh.
And because they know that The Office is going to be taken off. Friends is being taken off. All of the Disney-owned company shows are being taken off. So they're literally left with, I don't even know who they're left with.
Anime.
Not even anime anymore. Like, it's not good anime.
A lot of basic anime.
Yeah. A lot of, like, really... I'm not even going to say even
it's not even
anime.
mainstream.
It's, like, a lot
mainstream,
of random.
yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
It's not really even mainstream, though.
I think it has to do with the actual production companies that make the anime and that they have...
Oh, for sure.
I think they have, like, contracts with them that allow them.
But it's interesting, though, because Netflix, because they increased their prices, too. So they increased their monthly subscription by like $2, which is not much, but it's still but it's higher than higher than what it used to be.
I was about to say it's something that used to be like $7.
Yeah.
So now.
And so then they're also trying to compensate because they're like, oh, we're gonna lose The Office, we're gonna lose Friends. Let's bring Seinfeld. So they're bringing Seinfeld onto Netflix. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, it's not gonna have the same following as Friends, How I Met Your Mother, and.
I was about to say what like current 23, 25-year-old
is gonna watch Seinfeld.
Like, I don't know. I've never watched it.
I've never watched it either. I've heard it was good. I like Kramer, but that's about it.
Me and my family were really big on King of Queens, Seinfeld, MASH, which I know your family loved MASH.
Still, I finished it, but that's on Hulu. So
right, and it was mostly just because like, hey, it's getting close to dinner type thing, or we just got done with dinner, and it'll pop up, watch it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what we did too.
And you know, those were all good shows, but I think that they're not as bingeable and noteworthy to go independently on their own, like to be attracted to a generation.
Yeah, you have to have grown up with at least some of it in order to, like, you have to have watched it with your parents when you were younger in order to even know it existed.
I can't imagine watching
MASH by myself.
Yeah, MASH by myself
without have knowing what it was.
Yeah. 5 episodes of King of Queens in a row, or you know, it's even Seinfeld. Like, Seinfeld's like a very particular taste, right?
But the current people, the current generation is not able to. I can't think of the word right now. Is not able to relate to it. Yeah.
Yes.
That's definitely true.
I mean, it was an old school. It was before Friends. It was before all this other stuff. And
yeah, so like Netflix is this year and the next year they're taking the biggest hit.
They're gonna tank.
All of
the only thing that's gonna keep people there are the Netflix originals like Stranger Things if they come out with another season if possible. Yeah. But I don't think they're going to.
No, I think they will. I think some animated shows like Big Mouth are gonna keep people on.
Yeah, but.
I mean, I think Big Mouth's funny.
I think just one thing I don't understand about Netflix is that they say a Netflix original.
But it's not original for Netflix. For most of it. Like, with the anime,
for example. They have anime.
It's a Netflix original anime. No, it's not. It came from Japan, you dumb fucks.
Years ago. Before they...
I see what you're saying.
Like Seven Deadly Sins.
Seven Deadly Sins. It was out in Japan 3 or 4 years before Netflix actually came out with it.
Same thing with Ajin. Like, it literally, as the show is about to play, it says Netflix original
but
series.
Because they went to Netflix instead of Funimation for the dub, they can consider it a Netflix original.
Yeah.
That seems a little shady.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have Netflix originals. That is
yeah. Like other things. But I'm saying, like,
there are good Netflix original like actual shows on there still.
Yeah.
So
I think Frontier is pretty good, but
I haven't watched it.
Jason Momoa, really good.
Oh, that show. Okay, yeah. I wanted to check it out.
It's Jason Momoa as a fur trader in the United States during colonial times. Basically, the redcoats are still around, and he's having to go against the Canadian.
How new is this?
It's got 3 seasons, I think, and it's been out for like 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
And by season 5, he will be Connor from Assassin's
Pretty
Creed
much.
3.
He has the tomahawk. He's ready to go. But it's up in the north of America in Canada.
Okay, cool.
It's in the fur trade. It's pretty cool.
The thing that I haven't, I know
It's very bloody.
I know
it's
we
great though.
We touched on anime for a little bit last podcast, but I forgot to mention that I've been watching Vinland Saga. I don't know if you
heard of it.
That's the Viking one.
Oh yeah.
Holy smokes! It's so much fun to watch.
Really?
Yes, there are a good amount of fights in it and stuff like that, but it's historical. I don't personally know how much of it is historically accurate, but a lot of things in terms of cultural references, clashing between like certain things during the medieval times, because it's about Vikings, right? Like, it's such a cool like idea, and even the art is really awesome. Art and animation is really, really good. But there are like the really, really good fighters are like superhuman in a way, and obviously there's fantasy to it. But there are like Leif Erikson. Mm-hmm. He's in it.
That's cool.
And a lot of other like kind of famous Norse
Vikings
and stuff like that are in it. And there's one guy that's on there who is the same guy who voices, in terms of Japanese, voices Alexander the Great from Fate.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
He voices this giant of a man, like Thorfolk the Tall. He's huge, and like he's literally like 10 or 11 feet tall, and like literally his best weapons are his hands. He doesn't use like blades or spears or anything like that. And so like the army that's like attacking him is literally like miles away or whatever, or like across, because he's like defending London Bridge. And they're over on the other side of the water. So he's grabbing like these giant boulders and launching them like cannonballs all the way across.
Jesus.
I was like, holy crap. And like boats would try to come up to like London Bridge, and he would grab full logs that they sharpened up and just start chucking them down and like
so
piercing.
Giant javelins, basically.
Yes, giant, massive javelins. He's been like flinging them around. It's awesome. The dude is great. But there are also other cool characters, but so far he's like one of my favorite. He's the same kind of guy who just loves battle and just smiles all the time and just enjoys everything. But I'm not going to spoil too much of it, but so far like I've been loving it.
I've heard it was good.
I'm finishing up the second season of One Punch Man. I was watching it.
Was so cool.
I was watching it as it came out, and then until like episode 9 or something, and I just recently saw that it was finished. I was like, okay,
I gotta finish it.
Like,
yeah, it's. I mean, this season is rather short. It kind of ends a little suddenly.
From what I haven't read the manga at all, but from what I heard, there was no better place to stop it, just in the way the manga was written, because apparently big things are going to happen.
It goes for a whole ride.
Yeah, it's a pretty long arc after this, so there was no good. They couldn't go into the arc and just stop somewhere.
That's how I feel the next My Hero is going to be. I think it's. I've seen. I wish I didn't see some of the manga because I was really interested in one of the characters and I couldn't help myself. So I know what happens to one of the characters, so now I'm a little whatever. But this whole next thing is just like another, like...
It's on another level.
It's on another level, and I feel like it's going to take like an extra couple episodes. But they might not. They might actually be all like 24 or whatever, and that's it. Which I think they're pretty decent.
Pretty
like,
standard,
yeah.
I hope that Shokugeki is good.
There is no anime that makes me more hungry than that.
There's no anime that makes me more happy than that.
I don't think it can be bad as long as they keep the same people.
I know, but like
it's gonna be disappointing that it ends. But
no, I know, but they said that this one's the last season, and I'm like, there's so much.
Well, there's a lot that gotta wrap up.
That you gotta wrap up and figure out, and I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it in 24 episodes, man.
I think they'll be fine. I mean, he's gotta beat like 3 more people, right?
I don't know.
Who knows in this wacky wild world?
That's true.
Well, even if
facing his father,
even if he does like get to the top and everything like that,
I think it's gonna. I just hope it doesn't.
He still has challengers to come up to him as well.
That's true, but it's also one of those things where I'm really hoping they don't do the whole cliche bullshit that I think they might do, where it's
goes away for 2 years.
No,
time skip that shit.
No, they can't. They left it.
That's what they did to his dad, in a way.
No, but what I'm saying is I don't want them to have to make a deal where if Soma beats his father, then everything's fine. You know, like he finally has to beat his dad.
Yeah.
At a cooking up, like that's bullshit.
Oh, he's gonna have to beat his dad. That's what's gonna happen.
But I want him to do it as fun. I don't want him to do it as like everything is riding on this, so that your dad's gonna let you fucking win, like that kind of thing.
The way I want it to happen is I want it somewhere in the middle. Okay, him going up against his dad and him winning through his dad being disqualified, even though he had the better dish, just because like he didn't follow the reasoning or like the rules or parameters of the challenge. Mm-hmm. But then losing to his dad later. That's kind of what I want.
I kind of hope that it's like whoever makes the worst dish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
because that's
the thing. Yeah.
Grain of rice that's been out for 20 days and it's like
doused in squid juice and peanut butter.
That would make it good for some people.
Very, very select few. I can't imagine.
But
that's kind of what I hope, and I hope it's more for fun, like you're saying.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
But
what would it be like if it was like building up like such a high tension moment, like they were like hinting that was going to be like the final showdown, and then they dropped that on the last episode.
Be like,
well,
fuck this shit. But no, that'd be good.
Yeah. Also, feel free to like throw out other tangents.
Oh yeah.
I know I've been talking a lot.
But I mean, I have too. So
yeah.
I'm not talking a lot.
You're talking a good bit. You're also doing other stuff.
Important stuff.
No, not really.
Why did you just look at him like he caught you doing something?
I've been watching him this whole entire time.
There's a good meme on my screen.
It's the whole Aquaman like
you know the
meme
like
where
the girlfriend like
Mira.
Oh yeah.
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 But way more fun.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's true. I like original Aquaman. No, I like Mermaid Man.
Barnacle Boy.
Yeah.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Yes.
There's a spin-off show about them.
It's so messed up though, just because like the way they're treating people with PTSD in that show.
Oh, you're talking about them specifically.
Yeah.
No, that's fucked up. But like,
yeah, like cause as a kid, you're also all like, hey, they're funny old people, but then like
they literally have problems.
They have so much mental problems, and everyone's like sitting there like it's fine. Meanwhile, that's like your grandpa that was like, or whoever that was like in the Vietnam War or the Korean War or something like that. You're just like
I think the one that sticks out to the most to me was whenever he screams evil, but also that episode when he was asleep with his eyes open, and they were like, "Oh, he's asleep. He's trained himself to have his eyes open." I'm like, this dude went through some shit.
Yeah.
Like he has needed to do this for some reason.
SpongeBob has gone through like a lot of like. I want to say that in a way they kind of like push things, but they don't actually do. They did a really good job of masking things.
Yeah, the problem is that they need to stop because didn't the voice actor for SpongeBob pass away?
No way.
No.
He's like in his 40s. There's no way.
I thought he like passed away at like not because he was old, but because of something else.
I'm pretty sure he's still around.
Somebody died from SpongeBob. I'm almost positive.
It might have been.
I thought it was like executive producer or something like that. That's him on top left.
Tom Kenny.
I think SpongeBob's just going in like
they've
want to say
run out of
He's
ideas.
57 actually, but
yeah,
I don't want to say he's going in a different like I don't want to say it's run out of ideas, but I think SpongeBob is just good to catering to whatever kids are at the time.
Yeah.
So it's not our show anymore. Like I mean, we'll always still remember and still quote the old episodes. But to the kids now, the episodes airing now are the good episodes.
No, they're not.
Maybe that was a spitball.
You cannot beat the
That's
Super
what it
Friends
seems to me,
episode.
at least.
You cannot beat the Super Friends episode, and you cannot beat the Man Ray driving license. Like the.
Oh yeah.
You can't beat that episode when they try to make him good.
It reached meme status. You know how that's how. It's
I
good.
know.
I think it's absolutely amazing on how many memes are just being poured out of SpongeBob. Like
it's true. It's constant.
It's constant, and whenever like one will be basically out for a week, and as soon as that week ends, there's another one ready.
Like it's
and
currently
the
I'm a head out meme.
Oh,
yeah,
I think it's even moved off of that. I think there's like another one that's even more.
But it's literally one of those things where it's all from the old episodes because those were better.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but I mean I haven't watched any current SpongeBob.
So you shouldn't.
I'll wait. Like I'm gonna wait a couple years because Sebastian will get old enough to watch SpongeBob, and then I'll have to watch some episodes.
So how about that new season of Avatar?
What?
I'm joking with you.
Oh.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I was like,
they were talking about at one point actually coming out with another season.
Yeah, of the original Avatar.
They're doing a live action as a Netflix original.
Oh yeah, they are.
No.
The promotional poster looks cool.
Hey,
but
don't worry, it's not M. Night Shyamalan.
He's a good director.
That would have made it good.
He's a good director, except for that shit show.
Okay, I don't think I've actually seen that movie. So
You don't want to.
Bailey keeps telling me I've seen it, but I really don't remember.
It was so bad, it blacked out, dude.
You tried
You don't
I
remember it.
repressed it.
Timmy took his mom to go see it.
We've had this conversation before.
I know we have.
Dude, this morning when I woke up to text
You mean
messages.
this afternoon?
This afternoon. No, it was still
No,
morning.
it
It was still
morning.
morning.
Yeah,
Do
sorry.
you know that feel when you wake up and you are completely comfortable in bed? Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean beyond comfortable. Like, you're in one position and you're like, I can't move. And then you maybe roll over to another and you're like, holy crap, this is even better.
Yeah.
And everything's just right. It's like, if anyone ruins this for me, they are dead. Will Robinson. And that's the worst part is you have to reach for your phone and then you have to grab it and you're like, oh,
And then when you go back to the same spot, it's not comfortable anymore.
No, that's me when I try to go to sleep. I like get in bed. I find this perfect position where it's like, oh, I can go to sleep right now in an instant. And I look over, I left the light on in the hallway, and the light's like shining through the door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
Oh, see,
crap.
no, at that point I would have just been, fuck it, the light's staying on, I'm going to bed.
And then there's the times when you're like, you're really tired but you can't fall asleep, but you're trying to find that position but you just can't attain it.
And then you're thinking like, I have to fall asleep right now.
Yes.
Go.
Which
sleep.
which makes you not fall asleep.
Not at all.
See, my whole thing was this morning, because I'm not used to having an alarm on Sundays. I had to set an alarm to wake up to go to church or whatever.
Or whatever.
Man, Jesus.
Anyways, I was, because I stayed up so late last night watching that game and got home so late, I passed the hell out. And I woke up to
In
that
church?
alarm. No, I woke up to that alarm and I was like, oh shit, it's Monday. And I was like, oh fuck, I gotta get up and go to work.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
And I was just like, wait a minute. I hear people moving outside my door. Yeah, it's Sunday. Okay, we're good.
That's one of. It just reminded me of one of my
Oh,
favorite
it was
memes.
so bad.
It's of Kakashi, and he wakes up. He's like, I'm late for school. It's like, oh wait, I'm 37. I'm a teacher. Oh my god. The guy you're
That's
thinking
great.
of from SpongeBob, his name is Steven Hillenburg.
Uh-huh.
He's the creator of SpongeBob.
Oh, he died.
He
Yeah.
died last November.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Which is why it's not good.
Yeah.
Rip.
Rip. Ripperoni.
Oh
Yes.
man. But yeah, so that was my morning this morning.
Sweet.
Being scared shitless, thinking that I was late to go to my unpaid job.
What did you do this morning?
Me?
Yes.
I woke up. I got out of bed. Got my shit together. I drove Bailey to her parents' house and I came here.
Okay.
It's a very calm morning. I haven't eaten though.
Neither have I.
So that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But
Well, I was talking to
You
Alex
know
on
what
my way
we're
here.
doing? No, sure.
Well, I told Alex on my way here, I literally haven't eaten anything today either, except for like a small like salami and cheese pack thing.
Iron Age.
I mean,
if I didn't,
Everyone's like sitting there like, I'm not gonna say no.
I'm not gonna disagree with that.
if
But
I didn't have to go to,
And watch it again.
But I mean, I'm fine with eating something.
Mhm.
I'm just hungry.
Yes. Crystal, a friend of ours, had a
Had a
baby.
she did.
Yes.
She's adorable.
Her name's Aria.
Yup.
Aria.
I like that name.
Something.
it was like Aria. It was another like 4-letter name, I think.
My most recent search is Rashid.
Okay. But you know, congrats to them. That was awesome.
They did good.
Yes.
It's a cute baby.
Mm-hmm.
What was the middle name? Are you on the page?
Jade.
Aria Jade. That's
Aria
right.
Jade Hall. I was I was hanging out with Ryan, my buddy Ryan. They were talking about like names and stuff like that, and then he had his friends come over too, and they're all like, "You should name her this. That'd be pretty fly. You should name her this. That'd be pretty cool too." Like, and everyone was like sitting there like, "Okay,
Whatever you say.
sure." It was nice of her to just be like, "I'll consider these things." But yeah, that's super awesome of her. Do we know anyone else from our age group that's had kids just yet? I know, like, some people that I've known from middle school that's had one or two or a kid, but I don't know if anyone else from our high school.
Anybody that we collectively know.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
Baby shoutouts.
baby shoutouts. Shout out to Pampers. Thanks for the branding. Not sponsored.
You go, Aria.
Oh my goodness. But yes, congrats to her. Something else that I've been watching more and more is Critical Role. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah. Do you know what Critical Role is?
You described it to me, but
I want you to be all like, no, I do not know what Critical Role
Well, I
is.
really don't.
But please,
so please.
but please
It's
explain
basically
again.
a D&D podcast.
Yes, it's
Oh.
yes, it's one where they use voice actors.
Oh wait, you did tell me about this.
Damn it, Ben!
No, but please continue.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay, well there's voice
Nick, I've had
actors.
temporary.
Shut up.
Nick, I've had
D&D.
temporary amnesia, and I don't remember.
See,
Would you please enlighten me?
The reason
Who are you?
Okay, no, seriously. You told me at lunch, and I was still deaf then. So please.
Which, yeah, he sounds so much better.
I feel a little bit better. But
Can you hear?
mostly, yeah, it's
Okay.
much better. Like last podcast, I could barely hear Timmy
You know
Like,
what this means?
at all. What?
Recording.
Hell yeah.
Ah. So so what Critical Role is, it's a D&D podcast. Not really. It's mostly just them doing campaigns and stuff like that. And streaming it. But they use, the people who are part of it are a bunch of nerdy voice actors, which is part of their introduction, is we're a bunch of nerdy voice actors who do D&D. The main guy voices McCree from Overwatch, and he also voices a certain person from Skyrim that you are very familiar with.
Really?
Yes. Every Norse, like, soldier.
Oh god. Let me guess. Someone stole your sweet roll.
Yeah, you know, I'm not as
I
sure.
forgot about that quote.
It has a history.
I'm
quote has a history.
fairly certain he does that, or like he does some sort of Norse voice acting.
I just remembered the
Wait,
arrow.
We can't just slide by that line. What the heck is the history behind that?
In the first Elder Scrolls game, Arena is what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
When you play Skyrim, you say like, I'm gonna be a rogue, or I'm gonna be. You just like sort of choose your path or whatever.
Yeah, you're all like, I am not going to be a rogue who sneaks around and pickpockets and stabs people. I am going to be all about magic. 5 minutes later, I've killed this whole town by sneaking around.
Yeah.
But
And I've stolen everything.
the way you get your class and stuff in, or your bonus perks mostly in Skyrim now is like based on your race. But it used to be more complicated. Even just in Oblivion, you picked like your star sign and that like.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But in the original, in Arena, there was like a questionnaire that you filled out, and all of the questions had to do with sweet rolls. So it was like, someone stole your sweet roll. What do? Stab them. Talk to them. Like it gave you these choices. So, but every question had to do with a sweet roll. It's like you see a sweet roll you want. What do? Pay for it. Steal it. Like.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
Yes, that is awesome.
So that's why that's the joke.
We should do our own little questionnaire.
Yes.
Revolving around something specific. Oh, Oreos.
Yes,
No, that's gonna bring out blood. Dude.
Yes, that is precisely the reason.
Exactly, that's why we gotta do it.
There will be people who die.
Someone critiques your favorite choice of Oreos. What do you do?
Who here can explain the great Oreo controversy amongst our group?
Let Ben do it.
Okay. I like double stuffed golden Oreos.
Okay.
I think they're
My
the
man.
best.
Okay to be wrong.
My boy.
I think that they're the best. I can't really pinpoint why I think they're the best. I'm not, okay, I think it stems from when I was a kid. I didn't really like the way that the chocolate cookie tasted.
Okay.
I can get that.
It's like it was too powdery, and I just didn't.
They both say, "Oh, I understand," but they both gave you the stink eye at the same time.
I didn't say that. I'm gonna put that out. I heard this man questioning chocolate Oreos.
I said I can get that because I kind of went through that, but it's so good.
I literally didn't like the flavor as a kid. I think they're fine now. Like I can do it. But
to give explanation though, amongst our group of friends, there is a controversy of Oreos, and until recently, I did not know about the controversy of Oreos, and then I became more involved in this friend group, and they're all like, chocolate or golden Oreo, or original or golden Oreos, and I was like sitting here like, well, I have to go with original right now because that's the only one I've had, and then they're all like. I think that then the next actual meeting I've had with everyone, they're all like, "Here's golden Oreos, and then here's this other kind of Oreo, and then here's this other kind of Oreo."
It's important.
And I was like, "How many kinds of Oreos are there?"
This is what the world revolves around, Nick.
There's so many kinds of Oreos.
It's just like a running thing. Like if one of us sees like a new flavor of
we have to
Oreos
get
on
it.
the shelves, then we get it and bring it together.
like the maple one. Like that was good.
Like that was the
But
thing.
he doesn't like maple, so he doesn't think it was good.
That was the thing.
But that's a different thing.
See, this is.
I can't wait for November when we get the freaking pumpkin Oreo or
like pumpkin spice or something.
Yeah,
the gravy Oreo,
pecan
What?
pie Oreo. Oreo, are you listening?
Something just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Oreo.
The Thanksgiving Oreo is literally turkey, gravy, turkey.
So I was saying, it's like you got a cookie, then you, like the cream is turkey.
The reason why the
You already
Oreo
have stuffing as the cookie.
Yeah, the reason why the Oreo argument is actually valid upon every direction is because Oreo does actually. Is it Nestle company? I don't know.
Yeah,
They did come out with a. They came out with a mystery flavor, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Another one.
I'm like 99% sure you're right.
It's Nestle.
Yeah. So
It's either Nestle or Nabisco.
it's one of those. Oh, maybe it's a Mesco.
And
I have a computer with Google right here.
Anyways, so and then it's like Nabisco owned by Nestle.
yeah, something like that.
But
Biscuit.
every good call. I knew I had something. I always remember like the yellow with the red like lettering, and I'm like, that is where the logo is for the company. All I can see is Oreo and giant cookies and milk.
Dude, that's how I remember like my shampoo. It's like I know the general color of the bottle.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't remember the actual words, but I remember the crazy design that looks all like this. But anyways, but the reason why the Oreo arguments are all valid is because when Oreo makes every single one of these kinds of flavors, they're all really good quality.
yeah.
Like it's
They're
not
all good. I'm not even going out and saying like any one in particular is bad.
Well, me either.
We're just saying.
Repeat that into the microphone, please.
No, but I'm just saying I know which one's best, and it's okay for y'all to be wrong.
Yes. And for right now, I am pretty. I like all of them fairly equally. I might hinder towards the original just because it's the original, and that's what I'm used to. But other people may argue Golden, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
At one point, we were actually split 50-50.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like perfect.
And then Timmy went and fucked it up.
What do you mean?
And he chose went to the wrong side.
But yes, so not only do you have Golden and you have Original, but you also have like double stuffed, and you have Thins, and then you have...
Yeah.
But who wants the Thins?
Well,
Thins are better than I anticipated them being.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you have people like, for example, Majors came out of the gate and was just like, this is the perfect combination cookie to cream ratio.
I mean, I disagree with that.
It's not.
But
wait,
you're
she said
wrong.
that with the Thins?
Yeah, she said that this is the perfect cookie to cream ratio.
How
It's
can
the
that
best
be? That's so much
It's
cookie.
not.
I think the cookies are even thinner.
Yeah, the cookies are thinner.
But that's still like so much cookie to...
I think the only reason why I might like Thins more than the original...
You feel like you're eating less.
No, well, it's the other way around. It would last me longer because I am constantly picking, kind of like chips.
No, but see, my problem is
I
would be
put
taking,
away a family size by myself
Me
like
too.
nothing.
I would literally be taking them in groups that are about the same equivalent as a normal Oreo. I wouldn't be doing one at a time. I'd be
Right.
just
2 or 3.
Can you open up that top drawer, by the way?
no.
Can you peek inside of it?
It's dark.
He's dark. There might be an empty pack of Oreos in there. I might have threw it away already.
It's not.
Okay,
Oh,
I threw it away already. Sometimes like sometimes whenever I go to the grocery store, I'll get snacks and stuff like that. Snack drawer.
Nice. Gotta be by your games.
These things are super deep.
But see, then they always come out, and I know it's a gimmick. With Oreo, they always come out with a different color for a season and like a different imprint on the cookie, and I have to buy it. So, for example, I had to buy the Halloween cookies because they had the orange cream and the jack-o'-lantern designs on
There's
top
always another Oreo to try.
Yes.
I mean, even the Game of Thrones.
I never got them.
You didn't?
I wanted them so bad.
They were
Game of
Oreos.
Thrones. Do they taste different, or do they just...
No, they're
they
literally
were-
Oreos, but
they
it
were
was the
original
packaging was
Oreos.
cool looking, and the Oreo had an imprint of the Game of Thrones.
Oh, yes.
It
the
was-
tasty packaging.
It's a limited edition.
The cookie had like the houses on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I enjoyed them. Got them for the finale.
Stark.
Hi, Nick's brother.
Hi.
Hey, that's Joe.
But yeah, I think so far. Oh, here's a good question. Out of the newer Oreo flavors, the different ones other than the original and the
Golden.
the golden whatever.
Oh yeah. Also, probably
And
my
Oreo.
parents are watching too, because I think they're on their way over to my brother's, if not already there.
Hi there.
So they're probably watching through my brother's thing, which they have no idea.
Okay.
It's one of those things where so I want to know, what is your favorite flavor besides the two main ones?
Besides golden.
The
or
favorite
regular.
flavor that came out. What's your number one if you can't have the original or the golden?
Maple. I really like
I
it.
know. you like the
I
maple.
really like the maple, but I don't think that's my favorite.
And I'm guessing Thins and double stuff don't count.
No, yeah.
No.
It has to be a different flavor.
I'm just trying to see what the other flavors even are.
Yeah.
They had a red velvet one. They've had.
I don't really care
I
for
wasn't
red
big on the
velvet.
red velvet.
No, me either.
To
I'm
begin
just
with.
putting it out there. What we had one at the same time as the red.
I
velvet.
want
think
to
it was like
try
a
that.
strawberry one.
That sounds
Holy
See,
I think some of
smokes.
these are regal. They're showing like corn,
Rocky Road.
popcorn.
Ooh, is that peanut butter?
No, it's churro.
Oh, ugh.
That was actually a real thing.
Okay, well
Shut
maybe
up.
some of these are real, but
I didn't have
Churro
it.
would
I'm
just be like cinnamon flavored, so that's
Right.
that's not terrible.
Twix, bruh, I'd go nuts for that. I don't know. I think
because mine was the chocolate covered
Oh
strawberry.
wait a minute.
The chocolate covered strawberry was really good. I was
literally just
cinnamon roll.
Yes. As soon
that
as
was good. I like the chocolate covered
like,
strawberry though.
Yeah.
It had pieces of strawberry in it.
For me, the cinnamon stuff is usually too much unless I actually have a cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to change mine into a cinnamon roll.
That one was good. I also like mint Oreos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are also very classic.
I can't have.
I think the worst thing.
Food that is mint. Mom wants to know where Shelby is and if she has water. Oh my goodness. She has water. She's in your room. In the parents' room. Anyways, for me, I can't eat food that has mint in it.
Why?
Like ice cream. Ice cream is unhealthy and delicious, and it's supposed to be that way. If I have mint in it, it feels like I'm brushing my teeth and I'm not enjoying it as much.
I think of it like gum. I don't think of it like brushing my teeth.
Well, gum is different.
I just think of it as Christmas.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I mean...
Because they have the peppermint stick Oreo, too, where they broke up pieces of peppermint inside the cream.
Dude,
that was really good.
That was... yeah, you're right. That was really good. But, that reminds me of my favorite Starbucks drink. I call it Christmas in a cup. It is white chocolate mocha with peppermint in it.
Hey, it is Christmas in a cup.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a fact.
A Christmas in a cup?
Yes.
Very nice.
I don't think I even came up with that. I think Bailey did, but because she's smart.
See, I just like peppermint mochas. Period. That's about the only thing I will ever get from Starbucks.
Really?
I don't like Starbucks. They burn their coffee.
I like some things from Starbucks.
It has to be flavored.
I like their cake pops.
I just like food in general, to be honest.
I don't think I go to Starbucks.
I don't go to Starbucks. I'd rather, if I'm gonna get coffee, I'd rather go to Dunkin' Donuts or something like that.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather just get like a nice coffee or something.
Their coffee is better.
Well, I just don't like Dunkin' Donuts.
That's fine. I mean, I'm just saying, like overall, their coffee is better.
The building that I did most of my studies in during college had a Starbucks. Anything Reese's is good with me. Yes, my brother is big on Reese's and peanut butter stuff.
Oh, then you can answer this question because you and Timmy are wrong.
What's that?
Okay. All right.
No.
So
he's getting your question.
And I don't know if you were. I don't know if you were there either. Maybe. At that point,
I think you brought it up to me, but I never.
Yes or no? Is it better tasting when you freeze a Reese's?
Yes.
No.
Is it better to freeze a Reese's cup and eat it than have it melty and gooey? I personally think it tastes better if you freeze it, just like if you freeze a Snickers bar.
Yeah, I personally like most chocolate chilled.
Because I will take the pumpkin.
Snickers is different than.
But see, I'll take the pumpkin or the egg for Easter or whatever.
My brother says no.
God, you're wrong.
Well, okay, but I do like Reese's Frozen.
But when you freeze them, they don't melt in your hands.
They're not terrible. I'm not okay. Let me preface
the way
my
that
thing.
okay. So first off, before you say anything, because the way that you explained it to me was you like it more when it's gooey and it's like.
No. Okay, no. Let me clarify then for you.
What is is the old man there? What does he say? I'm wondering because he is the expertise on the chocolates.
Okay.
Does Dad
let me
say...
clarify my point then, so nobody's misinformed. I'm not talking about when it's sat out in the sun.
No, that's not what I'm saying either.
That's not good. I'm talking about whatever temperature is right when you get it from the store. It's just like slightly melted, but it is not like get all over your hands and get messy kind of melted. And then you bite into it, and everything just melts in your mouth, and the chocolate and peanut butter converge perfectly.
But I think it melts so much more, in a better way when it's frozen or chilled.
Well, because when I freeze it, it just becomes crumbles in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know.
And I don't like how hard the chocolate becomes when you put it in like ice cream or something. Like it's still good, but I guess it depends on the brand.
But here's the thing with Reese's though, the chocolate doesn't get that hard.
It
just gets more firm. That's the whole thing with Reese's. It doesn't get hard.
I do like it frozen, but I will not agree with Snickers. I hate Snickers frozen.
I love Snickers frozen, man.
That's too tough.
I like all
it hurts
chocolate.
my teeth to bite.
That's a lot of stuff in there. Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. The way I see it, I have the Snickers. I don't bite into it when it's completely frozen.
Throw it in.
I throw it in and it melts, and it's very it coats your mouth.
The
Are
only
you talking about a whole Snickers bar? Because I can't.
No, like one of those fun size.
Okay.
One of those fun size.
Well,
Like
even
Halloween
if it
candy.
is the whole, you just like put part of it in.
Yeah, you break it off and you.
Or you just like hold it. Yeah.
I just I eat Snickers like that. Like
And then
Three
frozen
Musketeers.
Hershey's are good too. I mean, literally anything chocolate that's frozen is good to me.
Just chocolate in general.
Chocolate in general is great.
Yes.
I'll get you a chocolate dick.
Please. Please. That would be the best thing ever. It's like an Easter bunny, except it's like a dick. This is the best.
I'll do it. Just for you, Will.
I'm sure we can find it online. Too.
Oh, I'm
That's
confident.
not even.
I know how to use incognito mode.
There's a chocolate artisan somewhere out in the world that will sculpt it.
Well, I mean, up in Helen, there's what is it called, Busty Betty or something like that, and it's literally a mold of a woman that's a popsicle, like a solid popsicle on a stick, and it's this really busted woman that's made of chocolate that you can eat as a lollipop.
There's a website where you can anonymously send someone a chocolate dick.
Oh yeah, you can also send a bag of dicks, and it's just candy dicks.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys seen the
We're getting to a
butthole
weird
impression chocolate?
The what?
The butthole impression chocolate?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's like gross.
Yeah.
Oh
shit.
my god, is it solid?
I think
Oh my god, why?
I can't tell. But you get it in
It
like,
would be so much better if it's solid.
oh my god. So like it's
Describe
really
this.
nice boxing, but when you open up the flap it says eat a dick. Oh man, that's so funny.
That's awesome.
Anyway. Alright, closing that window.
Cool. And never opening it again.
Bailey finds that. Oh my god.
Oh man.
But yeah, so anyways,
Oh,
chocolate.
Should check pricing.
Chocolate.
It was like
Reese's is
$20.
dope. Reese's is dope
Each?
even if it's frozen or
Oh, they're
the
probably
right
solid
way.
then.
But it does.
But I still don't even think that that's my
We
favorite
should
candy.
have sent it to all.
I
the
really
girls.
don't even think that
God.
Reese's is my favorite
Oh,
chocolate.
really?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Traitor.
No.
I'm currently really digging Almond Joys.
Almond Joys are great.
Can't remember the last time I had one.
Wait, I thought you didn't like coconut.
No, I've grown.
Oh wait, we got super sidetracked. We originally were talking about Critical Role
Oh wow! How did we get?
because we
how
ended
did
up
we
talking
come
about
to this?
sweet rolls in Skyrim.
Oh,
Because I brought
yes.
up the dude with voice for Skyrim. So that's
Okay.
how this whole
My bad.
tangent-
My amnesia continues. Please elaborate.
So, anyways, I was thinking about more D&D stuff and hopefully getting back into it with everybody. That'd be really cool because we like so much stuff. It's hard. Like we want to do
wanna
Lord of
do
the
a
Rings.
lot of stuff.
We want to do Middle Earth. We want to do normal
Which we
video
need to go back and
games.
do that again.
Yes.
We want to do D&D.
I wouldn't mind trying some other miniature games.
We want to do
that are out there.
podcasts. We want to go out and do other stuff. We want to go grab stuff to eat. Like we want to do. There's so much that we want to do with
Us.
us. And at the same time, we don't want to leave anybody out.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about in terms of like making D&D creators or characters and stuff like that. What do you think that you as a person most identify yourself as, especially like when you go into certain video games like Destiny and stuff like that? That we all have like our own little play style, our own tendencies. I mean, do you feel like you're more of a support player? Are you more of a damage? Like to me, I think in terms of D&D, I lean more towards like a fighter or a rogue type deal. I just like a lot of utility, and I'm not really big on casting spells and stuff like that.
Right.
But I'm very utilitarian, and I want to be like a jack of all trades type thing.
Yeah.
And also I want to be a balanced fighter versus like a glass cannon, I didn't know how you guys were. And also I normally pick races for whatever game I'm doing. I never want to be human, like at all.
Yeah, I don't
It takes
ever.
the fun out of it.
Most people don't really like being human.
You'd be surprised. There's actually a good bit of people, because I actually had this conversation with a friend of mine. He said that he liked being human just because it felt more relatable, and like he felt like it was more of like an ideal version of him type thing.
See, my whole thing is I mean, just for example, it's weird because I never put myself into the situation, but I always find myself picking the same things. Like, I always say I'm going to try something different, but I always end up doing either magic or ranged weaponry, and I'm always, especially like if it's like a fantasy world with all of these creatures, I'm always moving more towards like an elf race,
right,
or something like that. For example, with Destiny, I wanted to be Warlock. Warlock was my main because.
And then Anthem came out, and you wanted to play.
I wanted to play as the Storm, because it was cool looking. You got the elemental powers, that kind of thing. I find myself more going towards that kind of thing with the magic and all that. Even if it's scientific sort of magic.
Yeah, it's basically magic.
It's basically magic.
Spellcasting.
Or even like archery or something like that. I like being more of the ranged. I don't like the up close combat. Yeah. I feel more accomplished when I snipe somebody in the head and they die than
efficiency.
And I mean that's even with like the whole like.
It's like a high damage, low risk in a way. Right?
Yeah, and I mean it's like even with first person shooters, I'm more inclined to go with sniping and assault rifles that are just like a single shot where I can hit further targets.
That's fair. I typically find myself either as like support healing roles or
I do like that too.
I'm currently playing as a paladin and I'm loving it.
Just being a straight up tank.
Yeah.
On what?
In a campaign that Sawyer's running.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually Jacob is the DM, but
anyways,
some of them, and I'm loving it, and because you have some magic that is support, but you're a fucking tank. Like my base AC without a shield is 22. That's insane, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I have this amazing war axe or battle axe, and like using some buff spells, I did like 30 plus damage in one attack, and that's insane. Like, so I find myself like mid range, using some magic, but mostly weaponry, like close combat weaponry,
which we really need at one point. And I'm sorry to cut you off, Alex, but it's literally one of one of these days we actually need to do a campaign, a D&D campaign, where we literally just do who we more relate to.
Yeah.
Not like trying to do anything different.
And I was going to touch on that here in a second when Alex is...
or we can just go on a tangent and never get to me.
No. So anyways, what I was going to say...
No, I think I really like being, like, close-up fighter. Like, I think when I wanted to do D&D, I really, really like the idea of a monk. Like the badass brawler who can just like go all over the place and wreck face.
They're fast as fuck.
Also, I think anyone can have a good time as a barbarian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I mean, you just go into that rage mode and you just go crazy.
I like warrior in World of Warcraft. Like any kind of like melee weapons, like just get up in your face, just put pressure on them. But I like mid-range too, but up close, if I can have a good balance of staying alive and not like immediately dying, it's kind of game dependent. Then I like being up in your face.
But anyways, so the one thing that I think there are two ways that people play D&D. The first is objectively, where it's like, okay, what's next? What are we doing? We need to investigate this. What am I rolling for this? What's the most optimum way of beating the campaign and dealing out damage? What's prime positioning for this?
Right.
I want as much information about everything as possible. There's that. Versus the actual role playing of being your character, getting your character identity.
Yeah.
Actually having character interactions with each other to where opportunities are based and things can develop and relationships between characters can develop that are within the game, and it's not influenced by the actual world. So me and Will butt heads all the time just because we're competitive and edgy and stuff like that. But to have like our characters really cohesive and work together, like be like brothers or something like that, that would be awesome. You know, something that kind of stems out that something that could be there, but is more adapted and related to. So that and just to be able to do voices and all sorts of stuff like that. That's like another aspect of role playing that we haven't really touched on.
I tried. My voice gave out.
Yeah. It's mostly because we're still pretty new to it.
Oh,
right.
You know, in terms of experience-wise, we haven't really messed with it too much. I don't
we
know
don't
how
do it on a consistent enough basis, too.
I don't know how the campaign is with Jacob and Sawyer. I don't know if it's more objective-based versus...
I feel like it's a pretty good mix.
Yeah.
Sarah Kate has a character named Peony, and she has a voice that she always does for Peony, so it really integrates. My character's voice is like mine, just a little deeper. Like I talk a little deeper.
Yeah. Kind of like when you're sick.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. It works out pretty well right now. But
Perfect.
And my character's like, he has a really low intelligence, so I try and play into that sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Like someone will make a joke, and I'll intentionally laugh about it later.
Be like Drax or something like that.
Yeah, like I'm kind of modeling him around Drax, and it's really, I love it.
I mean, everybody likes doing stuff like that to begin with, just to be all like, I can just be stupid and everyone be okay with it and buy into it.
Exactly. Like they were making a bunch, like all the characters were making a bunch of puns about something. I don't remember what. I think it had to do with like fish or lobsters.
Yeah.
But like
10 minutes later,
like I made a random, like it didn't fit. It wasn't like,
You're like,
it's like I'm just
lobsters.
catching on to this. Let me make a pun.
Yeah.
But like, or it took me that whole time to think of one.
Yeah.
But and like something that I've been trying to do to make it more like that is I know like generally how my character is. He's lawful good, and like he's a paladin, and so what I'll do is if a situation is arising, I'll like think of what my person would do in this situation, and I roll a d20, and if it's like above a 10 or below a 10, either does or doesn't do something. Like we were talking to a witch, and like paladins don't really like witches, and so the whole time my character is sitting there gritting his teeth, like on the verge of an outburst, like calling out this witch, but she needed to help us, so like I didn't want to do that.
Right.
But if I got below a 10, I was about to fucking go off on this witch.
We need more moments like the moment where we were intimidating that one guy that was across the street. When I remember I had the skeleton guy and I was intimidating the person.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to get you guys to do, man.
Yeah,
like,
no, that was fantastic.
That was...
It was
so enjoyable.
Such perfect timing. Like, listen here, man.
And I was like thinking of just like everything that character would do, and I'm like, because that was the best part about in a way, I know it's a big flaw, but the best part about the character I had, which was a skeleton, was that he couldn't talk. So literally, he had to express everything through actions. So, you know, closing shutters, locking the door.
Yeah, so like I'm over here, my southern drawl, like trying to intimidate this guy while I got a skeleton.
Just like slowly, just like doing very, very sketchy things and getting closer and closer and closer.
But I felt a little bad because I felt like we were actually intimidating Will.
No, I was acting the character.
I know, but it was just like, it's like, oh, this is borderline. Like,
and I was like, we need to keep going.
See, at this point, literally, that shopkeeper was me in real life, and I'm like, what would I do in this situation?
Right.
And so, like, all of a sudden, when I actually, you didn't see it, but I rolled to see if he saw what you were doing, and he saw it every single time. And I was like, oh, shit. And I was just like in my mind, I would see the shopkeeper look behind you, like kind of go like this.
Like go like this? But yeah, so to basically summarize up everything, like to give a little bit more context, basically we had our own tavern. There's a tavern across the street that was doing shady stuff to make us look bad. We got sick of their shit, so we went over there and we're all like, listen, you need to stop. And he started being an ass to us. So we're all like, fuck you. And Ben's character, who was a, what do you call it?
Fire Ganassi, I think.
Yeah, Ganassi.
Yeah. So he already has flames all over himself.
I say Ganassi, but I hear other people say genocide.
I think it's Ganassi. I also heard Ganassi as well.
I've heard both.
But who's a Fire Ganassi, and he is like, okay, I'm sick of this. And I was like looking to Ben, I was like, are we doing this? And he's like, yeah, we're doing this. So, once again, my character is a walking undead skeleton who can't talk because he has no vocal cords. But I completely understand how my character works because basically he is bored all the time and just has like the biggest set of ADD, and he just wants to just do something all the time just to entertain himself because like literally he's dead, he's got a funny bone, he's got to be like that. Of course. So Ben starts intimidating him, and I was just like, he said something. The
shopkeeper said something.
He said something that pissed me off. I think it was something like he was just talking about on how like we're like filthy ingrates or something like that.
Yeah.
And
I said, you're filthy ingrates who don't know what you're doing, and you need to just drop out of this fucking business.
I heard that, and I was just, my character was like, it's now time. This man is going to die. Like, I was like, I had to be intimidating as possible. So Ben is literally like, verbally like.
But see, the problem is that Ben, I think you failed your intimidation check. So you were trying to be intimidating. Yeah. You failed at first, and then you were like, I want to try something.
Yeah.
Okay, roll for it. And you got it, and I was just like, oh, fuck, here we go. Like...
So
yeah, like I'm monologuing.
Yeah.
And Nick is periodically being like, I closed the blinds.
And the dude was way more scared of him than he was of you.
I know. Yeah. But that's
Which
fine.
makes no sense to me because you're on fire. Okay? Like,
but skeleton.
But the rolls.
Yeah. But like just closing the door. And then the shopkeeper would say something, and I was like, locking the door. Then Ben would say something. I walk over. And then the shopkeeper would say something, closing the blinds. It was very, like, give and take, and then slowly just coming up to this grand final point. It's like, okay, you win. And we're all like, yes! That's good D&D, and that was a lot of fun doing that. Which was, like, the last part that we basically left off as.
Yeah, it is.
I don't even remember what was supposed to happen after that.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
We have to do more research. But I think doing a new, I don't know whether or not we should do a new D&D just to be like, okay, this is now a SWBZ D&D type thing.
I'd be fine.
Or to do maybe a continuation of one of our old ones. I don't really know. I do think I have a really good time being a character versus being DM.
Yeah, same. I don't mind being DM. But
yes, it's one of those things where it's like
you kind of miss doing the role playing because you're role playing everybody else, but most of the time it's just a normal person.
Right, and basically amongst our group, me and Will are the only ones that have DM'd.
I'm
Ben
curious
hasn't,
about it,
yeah,
but I just haven't.
You've been wanting to make your own campaign for a while.
Yeah, so I got to sit down and like come up with an idea.
That's the whole thing. It's like you actually have to write everything out, and I think the worst part about making your own campaign is that you can't go to people for ideas or else you're gonna spoil what you want to do. Mm-hmm.
Like I've literally got 3 documents right here called The Heist.
Oh yeah.
And like that's a portion of the campaign that I
Is it a heist?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's all I'll give you, but like.
And the thing is, we have gone to the point now where we have been doing more long term.
In terms of.
Like, we've been doing... You had a plan that was going to go for a while.
Yeah.
I had a book of stories that I was going with for a while.
Right.
But it takes so long. We can do one and done kind of...
Sessions.
Yeah. And you can build on that way.
Yeah.
You don't have to build this entire thing.
Just quick quests.
Just
type
quick
things.
quests.
Yeah. But continue the characters.
But continue the characters.
Else.
I mean,
yeah,
we can do that as well, and that might be better for something if we were to do it with SWBZ.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just something.
And it would be nice because that means that we could all DM something.
Yeah.
Quick campaigns.
It'd be fun to try. My biggest worry about if I ever try to DM is I feel like I would sit down, make this nice, elaborate story, and then the one thing you guys do is the thing I didn't write for.
Right.
Like you try to go off and do
that's
something
the hardest
else,
part.
like,
yeah.
Like that whole thing with the shopkeeper. Absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
Like absolute. Like you were supposed to go in there and talk to him, and he would back away. I wanted to make it interesting.
So that's like what I like a lot is that literally my campaigns are just improv. So it's just like whatever comes to my mind, you guys have to deal with. But there is some planning to it though, because I do have like a general scape, and I know certain characters that I want to feature.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if you're gonna fight a bunch of Yoshi Raptors in a Minecraft world and almost get torn limb from limb, barely surviving.
Point of damage. Just saying.
I think Will came really close to dying. I think someone did.
I think it was me.
I think it was
down to
either
two
Will or Alex.
because I was a lich
You were
warlock.
not
I
by
don't.
yourself.
Asshole.
You're
That's
being
why.
selfish.
I was playing my character, sir.
No, I know. I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but my character was
Your
an
character's
asshole.
an asshole. Like,
My brother said he wants more D&D streams.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
you got it.
I think it'll be off of this. I think it'll be off of SWBZ. I think from now on, if we ever do it, which is fun, good content. Those would be live streams, which we would add on to our affiliation stuff that we would hopefully get.
Doing pretty good on viewers today.
Yeah, I'm pretty cool with that. Let me have a gander. But in terms of, I can't look it on while we're on here.
Wow.
Maybe I can. You guys can talk for a second.
But I mean, I think that if we were to do the SWBZ one, we would need to do it like our characters are a different, like our us immortalized in the character.
An extension of us.
Yeah.
So would that mean we pick for? Like, do you think it would be
I
better
have
if we
a- I
pick
have a
for
whole
ourselves, or would like the other people like collectively decide what class you're most like, and create a personality based off of?
Ian's there.
Ian, hi. We talked
Hey,
about
buddy!
you.
Congrats, buddy! If you weren't here for it,
Yep, congrats.
I like the plaque.
We see you. He's probably like, wait, they're calling out my name. What the hell? Yes, I'm the biggest giantess you ever seen.
But that would be an interesting take.
Yes,
That'd be cool.
I think that would be awesome to do that.
But how about this? We would need. Okay, so we would have to do it like if it was just us four and we were doing Alex, for example.
Okay.
Us three would have to talk about make his character. We don't tell him until he shows up.
I think that.
What do you think on that one?
I think that the person should come up with the general idea of what he feels like he would like to enjoy and play as, and then they could kind of throw in extra things. Maybe they can throw in a certain backstory. Maybe they can throw in certain things that person hates or likes.
Yeah.
Maybe they can extend upon certain relationships and stuff like that. I think we could all work together collectively on each character and then kind of have something like that. Also, I saw that a really cool way to introduce the beginning of a campaign is with one character. So it'll be all like Will's character walks in and he sees a very large half-orc barbarian standing at sitting at the bar, blah blah, and the half-orc begins to brawl with everyone for some reason, right? Or in the back there is a bard, blah blah, who's chilling and no one's paying attention to him, type thing. Like to have the characters in the room ready, but not them to actually be introduced just yet.
I see.
So
That'll
you
be
have to go through your introductions.
Yeah, you would have to go through your introductions and then and build the relationships, and also you don't have to worry about what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's these people are there, but maybe their time hasn't come to introduce themselves just yet. It takes upon the first person to do so.
I see.
Type thing.
No,
so it's like little landmines, which is how D&D is supposed to go anyways.
We also need to figure out, because it's happened quite a bit, to isolate yourself from what's actually being known. Like, general talk. You don't metagame.
Yeah.
Do not metagame.
That's like the biggest thing.
Terrible.
If Ben is around the corner fighting something,
he does not know that Alex is over there licking his asshole.
Yeah, it's like
he's getting back at you for saying that shit earlier.
Okay. You can consult the DM. Like, do I know this is happening?
Yeah.
And you roll for it, and then you roll for it. If you don't know it, you don't know it. So you have to act like you don't know it.
Just for example, like with Expedition. God, who's those guys who do PAX West, PAX East?
And Incorporated.
Something Incorporated.
It was
Acquisitions.
Acquisitions Incorporated.
Acquisitions.
All right. So just for example, my favorite thing ever.
I almost said Inquisitions Incorporated.
Yeah. So there was this paladin who realized that his sister had just boarded, is boarding a ship. He's holding on to his sister or whatever, and he's the only one that knows that it's his sister, but she's attacking them. Mm-hmm. Binwin, who is a dwarf, literally asked the DM, "Do I know? Do I see this other guy? Do I know anything?" And the DM was like, "No, you don't see him." She climbs up on the deck and he looks at the dude who's his sister, and he's literally just like, "Battle axe to the back," and he just sticks the battle axe in her back and kills her.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Because it's metagame.
Right.
You have to be in. What would your character do in that situation?
Yeah. I mean,
fair.
this also plays off like the personalities and everything, but like everything that we want to make extensions of ourselves, and this way we can actually make voices and all those really cool relationships. But in terms of time, I think we're gonna wrap everything up.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody who tuned in and on the stream. If you scroll down for the Twitch, you can see that we have links to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and our own Discord. Mm-hmm. Feel free to follow, subscribe to any of those things, and
click that bell.
Click that bell. If you see us on Discord, feel free to chat us up. Even if we're online, just you can always send us messages and stuff like that, or just be part of the community. We love all that stuff. It's awesome. We want to see if we can grow as much as possible. It'd be great. But once again, follow us on all that stuff.
Yep.
Thank you guys for stopping by, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right.
See ya.